For Marquez, Rossi is clawing back the advantage, and he should have the advantage with that extra hard rear tyre. The gap again, well actually, he's just put back a tenth of a second there, Marquez, but let's wait and see when they cross the line. Rossi's certainly got them in his sights now, Dovizioso hanging on there in third place. Wonder what the board is going to tell Valentino Rossi.
16 completed for Marquez. He's over the line now. Rossi comes over as well. 3 seconds is the lead. Valentino Rossi takes another 3/10 of a second out of Marquez. Now what Marquez could be doing here, he knows he built up an advantage of over 4 seconds, so he might have just backed off slightly to try and manage his rear tyre, nurse it home to the finish. He has still got 3 seconds with 9 laps to go, so Marquez might just have eased off his pace a fraction, just as we say, try and preserve the grip on that rear tyre, Nick.
He must have realised what the situation may be right from the word go, and that's why he went out so quickly. And it still is a big gap, 3 seconds, but Rossi, when he's on the charge like this, knowing he's got that advantage of that extra hard rear tyre, can't speak highly enough about Andrea, and you would think logically that the extra hard will last the race distance on.
Don't forget Marquez did come to the grid for this 25-lap race with the extra hard fitted to his Repsol Honda. He changed on the grid to the hard option. Marquez, he took a 10th back on Valentino Rossi on that lap, so you do wonder if he did just ease off for a couple of laps just to try and save a bit of grip on that tyre. Remains as it is now. Marquez and Valentino Rossi will head to the first European round of the World Championship in Jerez in 2 weeks' time, level on points in the World Championship.
Marquez would be the official leader after winning 2 races. He may have managed this race quite brilliantly. I'll tell you what, we're going to find out in the next couple of laps if that is the case. If they come down towards turn 5 with 7.5 laps remaining.
The first sector on lap 18 by Valentino Rossi. You can see on that graphic there, the gap down by 4/10 of a second, from 3.127 seconds to 2.748. So Rossi good through the first sector with that extra hard rear tyre.
He's put back another 10th through the third sector. These are crucial, these are graphics coming up. Absolutely crucial, because it just will give us an indication if Marquez is having to slow with the tyres, because he's been looking after the tyres, and Rossi probably fast, very consistent, very confident in that rear tyre. Here we go, he's getting closer.
Rossi another 2/10 of a second quicker through the third sector. Edging ever closer to Marquez. It was only 3 or 4 laps ago. The gap was 4.1 seconds. Rossi has recovered 1.7 seconds as Marquez crosses it now to finish lap 18. The gap down to 2.314 seconds. Rossi has just set a personal best lap of the race of 1:39.399. He was almost a full second quicker than Marquez.
Dylan, our tyre man. It looks like it's happening, doesn't it?
This is exactly what Bridgestone were predicting. They said the tyre's going to drop off that hard a lot more. The thing is, will he have anything in reserve? He might be waiting to see whether Rossi can catch up or not. That would be the clever thing to do. But, you know, if this was a gamble which Marquez took, they knew exactly, and he knew exactly he had to run out, he had to build that gap because they would catch up at the end. Maybe they're a bit surprised as to how quick Valentino is catching up.
Rossi is catching him all the time. He's coming down to almost 2 seconds now. There's those top speeds, but Rossi is closing. There's still 6.5 laps to go. Marquez must know now that the championship leader is closing all the time. That is the gap. They're down at 7 and 8. We've almost forgot what's happening behind them. There is Crutchlow. You know he's coming under pressure from Lorenzo. Smith 7, the Lotus Spargo 8, Honda Spargo 9, Redding 10, Vinales
Trying to fight his way by Andrea only for 5th place. Cal Crutchlow still hanging on to 4th. Here's the race leader, Marquez. This is through turn 13. Let's keep an eye on the gap. Valentino Rossi, they're just coming through the shot. Marquez over the line now.
What is the gap going to be across the line? 2 seconds. 2 seconds between Marquez and Rossi. 6 laps to go.
Valentino Rossi, Nick, is dragging Andrea Dovizioso back into this fight as well. Rossi across the line with the best lap of the race for him so far, as was Andrea Dovizioso. Dovizioso less than a second behind Valentino Rossi. 6 laps to go on the Termaster Rio Hondo circuit. Marquez coming under intense pressure. His lead down to under 2 seconds. Rossi has found nearly 3/10 again through the first sector. The lead 1.7 seconds.
They race down towards turn 5. Marquez on the brakes. Rossi, that familiar big right leg goes out. It's a masterclass of riding by the master of Grand Prix racing. But catching him and then passing him may not be so easy. Dylan, is Marquez keeping something in reserve, or is he just having to ride as hard as he dares?
Well, I'm still down here with the Bridgestone guys. They're saying they're not entirely sure, because if he is pushing, then that's actually going to be very bad for him, because the tyres just going to drop off more and more. The thing he should be doing now is try and keep it as smooth as possible, because at least then when Rossi does catch up, then he might have a bit more in reserve. So it's more him who's got to keep a calm head. But you know, this is exactly the kind of situation that they were predicting beforehand.
This lead is being slashed now by Valentino Rossi. It's down to less than 1.5 of a second. There will be 5 laps to go when they cross the line. Rossi is going to be with him pretty quickly.
As the gamble by Marc Marquez back
The line. Rossi is going to be with him pretty quickly.
as the gamble by Marc Marquez backfired. Rossi over the line, a new lap record from the Italian at 1:39.019. His fans cheer him on in the grandstands. Rossi now within 1.2 seconds of Marc Marquez. This is where he's so strong through that first sector. Rossi has dropped Andrea Dovizioso. It looks like it's going to be a shootout for the victory between Marquez and that man there on the charge, Valentino Rossi.
36-year-old. He's riding like an 18-year-old on a track bike, isn't he? I will not give this up without an enormous fight. You know that. 4 laps to go. Rossi in second place. The gap now 1.157 seconds. He's through that second split just to see the gap. He's got him in his sights. He's not quite close enough. He's got a glimpse of Dovizioso, Crutchlow, Iannone, Lorenzo, Smith, Lace and Spargaro.
Quick shot there, Marquez is through. Chief Santi Hernandez checking the track temperature. Is that hard option rear tyre going to hold out for the victory? 4 laps to go. Valentino Rossi powers down the back straight. The gap now 0.6 of a second on the brakes into turn 5. Rossi as close as he's been all race.
Rossi's got him in his sights. There's the track temperatures all the way round. It's a lot hotter than it has been for the day so far. It's getting late. It's coming up to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here. The sun has only really come up in the last couple of hours. Marquez made the choice of using
Marquez. Valentino Rossi has taken another 1/10 of a second out of the double world champion. Half a second now, the gap. Rossi almost right with Marquez as they come to complete lap 22.
through the right-hander, flick it left over the start line. 3 laps to go and an amazing Grand Prix of Argentina here at the Termas de Rio Hondo circuit. Up towards turn 1. Rossi chasing his second Grand Prix victory of the season, as is Marquez. Rossi closing all the time.
Unbelievable performance by the 9 times world champion through the second corner. Marquez having big moments. That rear tyre twitching as he gets on the gas. Rossi now, this is through turns 3 and 4. Rossi right with Marquez now as they power down the back straight.
Will he have a go first time? I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. We ride with Rossi. Marquez in front of him as they come down towards turn 5. He likes 7 and 8, also Rossi for overtaking.
Marquez now, this is through turn 5, runs it over the curb on the inside. Valentino Rossi now within 0.3 of a second of the Spaniard.
Seconds don't matter anymore now, it's visual. You can see Rossi closes up down at turn 7.
What a recovery by Valentino Rossi. He said all along that he needed to race that extra hard rear tyre. Marquez gambled, he rolled the dice on the grid. He came to the grid with that extra hard option on. We thought he was going to race it. He switched at the last minute to that red banded hard option tyre. Has that been his crucial mistake? 2.5 laps to go. Rossi now right with Marquez.
Down at 12 and 13, when they cross the line there will be 2 laps to go. Marquez can probably hear Rossi closing up on him. Rossi does close on of 13, flick it through 14. 2 laps to go with this extraordinary Grand Prix of Argentina. They race up to turn 1. Here comes Rossi.
Marquez holds the lead going through the first corner. Valentino Rossi hugging his back wheel. Rossi so quick through this first sector. Will he have a look on the inside at turn 2? Rossi moves to the inside. Rossi's going to take the lead. Rossi up the inside of Marquez. Runs it a little bit wide. Marquez back through at turn 2.
We knew he wouldn't give up without a big fight. Marquez back in front. Rossi closes once again.